Whew, you have to have a team. I've got a team, okay? And
Look at her. What a team.
couldn't do this. I've got a team. I've got a
Yeah.
videographer, photographer. I've got a manager, bookings manager, who then does the research for that particular event, does everything, scripts and whatsoever. We have to sit. And when we sit, we rehearse. Because most of these events had a script. You have to go through the program, research about the people on your script, on the program, incorporate them. So even your imaging is very important. Your cue card has to have your brand. So that how no share phone, can't tell you WhatsApp, but where are you? TV, that thing disturbs
That's
you.
it.
So you have to, you really need to sit down, even decide what kind of gigs you're doing. I was very deliberate about choosing a lot of presidential work to build a certain status of event. Because you don't want, I'm not saying it's the wrong thing, we have to diversify, but also, Luana, you need to be intentional about your brand. So that's what I did. I had to sit down with my team and say, guys, if you're to work with me, what kind of a person do you want to work with? So
Madume, and welcome to the Dust&Vision. I'm your host, Obakengora Chuno Mudise, Robustness. Welcome to another inspiring episode of the Dust&Vision, where we bring you conversations with remarkable individuals who continue to shape industries, inspire communities, and redefine success. Today's guest is an award-winning broadcaster, an exceptional Master of Ceremonies, a respected sports analyst, a journalist, television presenter, radio personality, and a passionate farmer. She has spent more than a decade informing, entertaining, and inspiring audiences across Botswana and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, amogelang Skillo, Aabobe.
He's like,
Hello, hi.
hello.
Hi.
Well, I'm good, and how are you?
Man, I'm doing well.
Right, hello, my name is Skillo Aabobe. He said quite a lot about me, but he forgot one thing. I am a mother to a beautiful 14-year-old girl called Sebaga. And of course, I do quite a lot. And most importantly, iconic, international, Masters of Ceremonies.
Beyond all these MCs, mics, and radio, television, cameras, Kimang Neo Aabobe.
Look, people don't know this, but I'm a very shy person. Very reserved person. Any chance I get of the limelight is the best moment of my life. I give my events the best. I love being on stage. I love, commanding with my voice. I always say I'm the pulse of the event. But away from that, I'm just a young girl. I'm a mommy's girl. I'm a daddy's girl. I'm a pastor's kid. I'm a beautiful mother. I'm a farmer. Look, it would be remiss of me not to mention my history. Even going to school, I remember in primary days, from Mayarona, it's 15 kilometers away from Botswana Meat Commission, in a village called Molapabojang, and then you drive to Lubate. I would get so excited every time my dad said, "Komoko BMC." For me, it worked because I loved the farm. 2, I was a long distance runner. So, to BMC was training for me on top of that. So,
double.
Yeah, so it was that for me. And I've still kept with that. Even years later, I'm 34 years old, I'm still living at that life.
Did you think about radio or television on those days?
No, I've always wanted to be an athlete and an architect.
And how much you sporting?
Yes, I've always wanted to be an athlete. I was one of the best. I remember even when I was taking transfer from Gaborone to Lobatse, the school was ready to offer me scholarship because I was bringing in the medals. I was doing 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers, and 800 meters. So, there's no school that would want to lose such a status to another school that at any point they would beat them. And I remember now when I had to move back to Gaborone, I was at Crescent. Crescent was like, what was guy? You're left with 1 year to finish primary. Can you stay a little longer? You know, so it was really one of those things. And I went into high school. I was like, okay, I want to be an architect. Because and stuff like that. How do we sophisticate that? It was just a basic thought, young one. Finished my Form 3 and I went to senior high. And now at senior high, I didn't know what I wanted to do. Athletics was no longer there. Netball team in AJWA. And then I went into basketball. Going into basketball was then something different. As I was building my career in basketball, another transfer. Because I was moving with my mom. My mom is a civil servant. So every time my mom has to go somewhere, I get to the school, there's no this, I have to learn something different, learn new friends. Most importantly, I had to learn Setswana. Because I was coming from an English medium school and now I'm in a government school. Show me it was worse. And I get a prefect, so I have no time to learn other things and stuff like that.
It's hard.
And
the name Skillo.
I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a bowler.
Yeah.
Skillo was a rebrand when I joined radio. Look, it's always tough as a woman. You evolve. But my name Skillo came from the name Skills. I went to Gaborone Senior Secondary School and I played basketball. I was a sprinter, so I had to learn dribbling and stuff like that. Eventually, I started watching football. There was a guy, Abidu Ateko, he was called Skills. So Abantira, the little sister. So you know how people get lazy to start learning new names. But Skills in way, even after he left school.
Oh yeah.
So the name Skills stuck with me. And then I went to varsity in Val University in Vanderbilt Park. I got there and I still played basketball. Came back and got into radio. And I had a gentleman called Ulibile Machete. He said to me, Skills, imagine you in 5 years being called Skills. Is it a brand you'd want to be affiliated with? Find a way to also distinguish yourself from other radio personnels. One, you're young, you're a girl, and you have a husky voice. So you have to stand out in almost everything. So I had to play around with the name. I couldn't get away from the ski part of it because a lot of people knew Skills and stuff like that. So it eventually became Skillo, but even the song was a part of it, so yeah.
Yeah. How would your family and friends describe you?
Radio yele balabala nyele. But I'm a sweetheart. I'm a straight talker. Ke motho e dile mowa, ke motho wa batho. Gore la go togona le lo soko ga lona, ke a go ema le lona. Ke motho e leng gore ga ke batla go bona lwena mo botshelong o ka re wa hapoga. Look, I always say to my friends, just because I'm on the limelight doesn't mean I'm not your friend. Come, talk to me. Le nna ke motho. Gona le nako e leng gore ke lapiswa ke limelight, I want a friend. So let's not lose who we are because of where we are. Because character takes you across so many things. Ba kwa lapeng o a ike ngwana ala modimo. Tsetsa go bala ba di utla ka lona.
How tsena ke mitla nna ngwana moruti.
Ke bala Bible chomi. Ke ngwana moruti.
There's the fish night.
Ke a opela go kerekeng. Ke lona le ntshanyana. Bana ke ba.
Take us back to your first opportunity in media.
Val University of Technology. Oh no. That was the break. Yes. But there was a show called Kasila Milaubita on Yarona FM around 2009. There was a guy called Mkrenko. And he would invite us to say, guys, okay, you've got features here. Go out, find what you want to do. So we did entertainment with my cousin. So every Friday we would go and say, so there's a gig, this guy, go, gig plugging kind of vibes. And then the following day we'll come back and say, because we were still young. So this is what we saw. Hey, fashion was a disaster. It started there. I would get invited through basketball as a public relations officer to go and talk on national television about our team and even on radio and stuff like that. But I also then, went to school. And there it's where there was a drive time on campus radio where I was a co-host, debate, and give sports update about the campus sports.
What were some of your biggest challenges that you faced entering this broadcasting industry?
Men want us.
Banna.
Look, it was not an easy journey. When I joined, corporate officers. So I'm going into a territory of sports.
You were still young.
Male dominated. That was in 2014 when I came home. I was a producer and a news anchor. I landed in sports by default. I'd loved sports, but getting the job was as a news anchor. But even going around, minding my own business, and I think that thing thrives with men. What are you independent thing? I'm here to work. Even when I started becoming an MC, hey, hi, what are my friends?
I'm not tomboy.
Can we show me? Hey, I'll show you pictures. I can meet him totally. So yeah, it's always been the case. Even to today, we be like, guys, I'm married. What the amal? Pirija, pudintina le clock. Patong. So that's one of the big challenges.
Yes, so that's monati book. Pirija,
pudintina le clock. So there's that, but also, believing. I'm young. There was always that thing, people can't get it serious. But I thank God for this voice. This voice that works for me. Because then every time you say, ladies and gentlemen, may you kindly sit down. It's
who's talking?
Who's talking? So for me, that's been the challenges. It's a male-dominated industry. Even to today, our female MCs, we are few. And even then, we've been affiliated with female events only. Where's Majita? We call it the boys' den. It's still a thing, but
you've worked on both television le radio.
Yeah.
Which medium do you enjoy most?
Radio.
Why?
Ke khona go tla ke ikaparetse track shoot ya ka ha ke tswa famong
ke le late. Oh, the top boys and sa khona go ya go mmereko.
I ke re ke abe ke tswa famong
ka track shoot.
I get to enjoy myself. Tsala ke khona go tsamaya mo molong ba sa nkitse la hang ka tripiwa. I'm just one of those girls. And also, I love radio because I enjoy sound engineering. So I can play with clips as much as I want. I can create feature. I can give you an hour show from home and plug it into the system. I can work at the beat of everything. Unlike television where you are there, you are doing an interview like this. And then there's breaking news of something to the president. You
can't just stop and then go.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But with radio, you can just simply put a 30 seconds drop and
TV, hello, what's happening now?
Yeah.
It's
the state of the mind. I love radio because it makes people wonder, can't this Skillo again? I've heard people go,
their own personalities.
Yeah, so I love radio because it gives you an opportunity to be creative.
Fantastic stuff.
Yeah.
You've won awards, and it's never easy. What do those recognitions mean to you?
And the painful thing is I won awards after 10 years of hard work. I felt like I was not recognized. I felt like maybe I'm not doing something right. I felt like maybe I'm not a good presenter. Maybe I'm not a good anchor. Maybe I'm not good this. Maybe I'm not good this. I felt like getting these awards will validate my work. But I have a great support around people to say, Skillo, your sports updates have sparked debates in parliament. That for me was an award. Beautiful. And stuff like that. So getting these awards was now validation after parliament. But I love this particular awards that I've won because it's strictly about conversations. It's Aabobe. And that one played a very important role. My first award was from the Vunani Botswana Women's Awards. And it showcased the underlying conversations that we have with women and the problems and the challenges that we have in women in sports and stuff like that. And I'll never forget my applications of the sports updates. All my applications were the junior, our rising stars that today we're celebrating. So that award was so dear to me. I've actually framed it in the house because it showed Hore, I'm doing something different.
It will keep on motivating you to do more.
Yeah, and we're still at it.
If you to look at the young girl who's like Skillo at that time when you were starting and have to give them an advice, by sports broadcasting, what would we say to them?
Can I make it media entrepreneurship? Because there's a lot in sports podcasting. You eventually grow and become an MC, go to stadium and stuff like that. Remain authentic as much as possible. This includes even your accents, your tone, your demeanor. Everything should remain authentic. Because let's say flu, how change? Obviously, we will see you're not well. When you come back, we know you. But if you're going to come in audition and say, ladies and gentlemen, are you going to keep that energy for the rest of the year? Because that's your brand.
Or trying to copy Skillo, trying to be Skillo now.
Yes, you don't even know where my energies come from in my life. So you need to remain authentic as much as possible. Remain genuine. I always say to young ladies who are joining the MC industry, how are you doing it? Come on, baby girl. If somebody sends you an RFQ and you quote yourself, do not accept a call that says, let's meet at the restaurant, I'll give you the gig. Because you don't want a situation where you're standing in front of presidents, ministers, and CEOs. And people are saying, really? You need to be in a position where at any time, even if the president calls you to come in MC, why because they talk. They talk, they give reviews with your attitude. They are watching you. And stuff like that. So remain yourself. There's nothing wrong with being hated, not getting gigs because you are disciplined in your business. Yeah.
It's a very serious thing.
Yeah.
So the lecturers the phanya ka banyana ba sekolo, you would find majitaba e mo le ngwana wa tla go feta mo go tshegiwa ka ene kwa ba ena ra le nna ka mashapi
o mongwe ba re bile ke next
banna jesu banna khabetsang banyana khabetsang ya makgabe ya khabetse go maswe. It's not a good thing. I mean, lo ena fela you're gonna be uncomfortable, or you're gonna even end up o tshaba le batho tsena fela mo ara ga batho tshaba gore hey kana ke exposed. Who are some of the people who inspired you on broadcasting, on your broadcasting journey?
Oh, she knows this one, Carol. I met her 20, I don't remember, 2014. Yeah, 2014.
I brought her there.
Yes. Oh, yes. Chubby, plug. I remember very well. And it was during a workshop.
Yeah.
And I remember I asked her one particular question. Before she answered, she said, what a smart question. And after that, she came to me and said, what do you do? And I told her about my media aspirations and planning. She said, don't look back. Forward you go. And don't try be. She's actually one person who said, don't try be like me. Now that I know, don't try be like me. Go and work on yourself for that one. She's one of the people that I really look into. Bringing it back home, there are two in the essence that they worked together, but two different things. There's a lady called Neo Tlaselo, and then there's a lady called Ona Rabanteng Kalakachani. She's a news anchor on BTV. Ke Kgotleke Moreetsa on radio, went on to BTV. She's done well, and she's been doing quite well. But also in terms of demeanor and all the likes, there's a lady called Muhumi Modise. Oh, what a sweetheart lady. She's made radio for me easy by telling me, Skillo, be yourself. The Skillo I'm talking to in a restaurant, those conversations, relay them on radio. Just be you, my girl. Nobody can be you. There's no other Aabobe, even in the system, your identity card. So carry that with you. So these are women that have really pushed me to be who I am today. But it will be remiss of me not to mention one gentleman. He goes by the name Joey Mutibi. This is a gentleman that when I walked into the doors of Duma FM, Kebatlaspan as a volunteer, and nobody didn't know me. Reception, reception. I like your voice, come here.
Yo.
I went, he was doing his news bulletin at 1 o'clock, and I was listening to him. That's not my problem.
Are.
I read the news.
Hey.
It was a Tuesday. Thursday, I was a news anchor after vigorous training.
What a man.
So I was there.
Not all
for
men
the
are
longest
bad in the
time.
industry.
Even now, man.
Yeah,
you know, when I
yeah.
look back, I'm like, risky or risky, you know.
Oh, man.
And he was very genuine about it. Skillo mo industry and whatsoever. Even to today, we call message. I hope I want to event. Yo, Daddy Joey.
Tell the viewers about 2014. I think that's when I met you.
Oh, 2014 was a tough one. I just finished school and I was trying to figure out if I should stay in South Africa. I did my internship in Eswatini, not the now Eswatini, then it was Swaziland. And I wanted to stay around. You know, we've got this vision out here, South Africa's big, you know, and everything. Obaken said, pack and go home and go and build your name at home. Yo, that was the most painful truth of my life. I'm like, this guy's crushing my dreams. So suddenly you introduced me to Carol, now you're telling me to go home.
I was not excited to get Carol.
Hey.
Carol.
You know, and I remember when I went home, he said to me, after my first 2 gigs, Skillo, mo industry. Build yourself, build your reputation. And it was a lecture and a half. And I remember at one time things were not looking well, and I'm like, I wanna try something in SA. And he said to me, no, sports, and you're gonna go to the bottom of the chain. But when now you're already emceeing for president, wow, when I'm president of South Africa, stay there. Oh, I'll never forget. Even to today, every time I think of relocating, I'm like, and I can still hear, South Africa, man.
And here today I'm very proud. I'm very proud to be interviewing her. She's doing well. Very, very well.
Invoice.
She's doing very, very well. And she's one of the people that I've become proud when I look at them. I mean, I've plugged so many people in the industry. I don't like to talk about people, but this one, she's one of those ones that I'm proud of. Because I'm expecting you now to impart this knowledge to the young ones who are coming after you. It's a rough industry. I usually tell people, if you don't have the vision. You've hosted corporate events, government functions, CSR initiatives, product launches and gala dinners. MCing and broadcasting.
Different audience, different languages, different outfits, different mood. I can't go to a gala dinner as if Kiko Stadium. Let me give you the latest example. It was the opening ceremony of the World Athletics Relay that Botswana hosted in May.
I wanted to come down here.
Yo,
hey, and the vibe was vibey. when I watch the pictures and
Botswana
videos.
ra leboga.
I
ra
just
leboga.
vibing. I just
Hey,
vibing.
man.
You and everyone enjoyed
Yo.
it. You go for people on Facebook and Instagram, they're busy thinking, man.
Botswana is the next hub of hosting.
True.
Yes.
True.
So that was a corporate event. However, we had to set the tone for Saturday. That means I had to be serious and composed, but I also had to allow our guests to appreciate Botswana. That is the energy, the songs, and whatsoever. So you have to set the mood, more especially that there were artists performing and the likes. So you have to, 1 minute, be serious, Mr. President. The next minute, Dr. Vom Shabano, yeah, Shabano. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to switch in between.
Yeah.
So one way or the other, you have to be smart. You have to work on your toes. You have to be creative.
Oh, man.
But most important, you have to listen to your directors because they see more than you see.
So yeah, the behind.
The
yeah,
behind
yeah,
the scenes.
yeah.
So, kwaiwa.
Diabo.
Dude.
What makes a great event host?
Character. More than any other thing. How we treat sentle. O tsena mo eventeng. Your guests should, like, yeah, ke le Skillo.
Who call or
How re dumelang ba re dumela.
Oh,
You need to do your research very well. You need to communicate with your agency or whoever is hosting you. Because when you're an MC, you are no longer now Skillo Aabobe the MC. You are an employee of that event. So even if it's a private event or a bank or whatever, it is you. That is why Obakeng, if my goes at team, light this to be for presentation. So it takes you to find a diplomatic way of saying sorry without using the word sorry.
I've never been on your shoes, and how do you prepare this before you can step into a stage? What is your mind telling you? And the crowds are different, and you have to control these crowds.
Yeah.
How do you prepare for that?
You have to have a team. I've got a team, okay? And
look at her. I've got a team.
Couldn't do this. I've got a team. I've got a videographer, photographer. I've got a manager, bookings manager, who then does the research for that particular event, does everything, scripts and whatsoever. We have to sit. And when we sit, we rehearse. Because most of these events have a script. You have to go through the program, research about the people on your script, on the program, incorporate them. So even your imaging is very important. Your cue card has to have your brand. So that how no share phone, can't tell you WhatsApp, but where are you? TV, that thing disturbs you. So you have to, you really need to sit down, even decide what kind of gigs you're doing. I was very deliberate about choosing a lot of presidential work to build a certain status of event. Because you don't want, I'm not saying it's the wrong thing, we have to diversify, but also, Luana, you need to be intentional about your brand. So that's what I did. I had to sit down with my team and say, guys, if you're to work with me, what kind of a person do you want to work with? So even the sporting event that I take, there are certain events, I am not a hype girl. That one I will drastically fail in my dreams. So even when clients call me, but Skillo ke go bone o dira jana, and I'm like, because it's in a confined area, it's in what I can do. But where now there's a derby, I can't do that.
Bontsi jwa batho ba go itse ka a broadcaster. Mara sa ba ntse wa go itseng gore you're a farmer. Where did your passion of agriculture begin? I hear that you goletse ko farming, which is maybe one of the reasons.
Yeah.
But what pushed you out of the limelights of broadcast and all of that to go back there?
Commercialization of anything and everything. Even being a broadcaster, I had to commercialize it. I had to make money. Farming doesn't mean waking up in the morning or I can 100. And then what after having them did 100? Look, it goes back to being intentional. I used to post a lot about the farm. I used to do content at the farm. But having to position myself as a broadcaster and an MC, I had to then pull back my content ka farm because I wanted a certain Neo Aabobe to be known. And that's the Neo that everybody knows. But everybody knows that farm because once in a while I'll post about the farm. I had a podcast even on agriculture. Took a back step, financial issues. But yeah, it's going to come back. It's called The Farmer's Chronicles because at the end of the day, it is what makes me. I get a gisa komo ki duela school fees. Ki resele, ki reka tsone di outfit there's life and stuff like that. So for me, it goes a long way. Farming will always be for me. And it's also my safe space. Like, after all this limelight and it's, what do I want to do? Ke go di pudding tsa me, ke go di khomong, ke tsene mo tshimong ke bone gore mmidi wa tloga wa sha magapu marotse and whatever. And even after that, you know, with my brothers, ra tsa ra rekisa. That comes from the farm. So, not that way there's money, clean money. I'm there. Clean money.
Lerato la madi.
Clean money.
Why do you believe for agriculture important for Basha?
Wa tsoga, wa tlang, breakfast, lunch, supper. Even COVID, there was food. There is nothing you do without food.
There's a quote in South Africa. If you've had your breakfast, thank your farmer.
Yes. Anything you do, including your beer, is farming. There's nothing you do that is not a farmer. Agriculture should be one of the top priority conversations in the GDP of any country, or even of the world. Including for all of this. So you can't, there's no how agriculture is
Stop depending on other countries.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially on the Millennium way.
You know what I mean? So agriculture is literally everything. And I always say, agriculture is our green diamond. There's no how, there's not, you cannot dismiss agriculture. These investors you are hosting, baja rice, baja di kana it's a farmer.
You actually remind me, Botswana used to thrive on farming.
Yeah.
Of which is painfully now. People have moved out of that. Repatla more technology.
Residential mo di farm.
Exactly.
Re tlo jaileng. Go lemile mang.
How can agriculture become more attractive, especially this young generation? How can it become?
It's fashionable already. That's a beautiful thing. You know, we've now have nice shorts and t-shirts and whatever. We have now got access to farms. Hey, stallion 4x4. Matsatsing ana di farm di teng, our small cars di a goroga. So that's one of the things that we have done. But now we need policies and programs that are not steepened for Botswana or for any other country. And even then, get your regions to be involved. Like Botswana, we have regions Tamabele, regions Ditapole. We need to rotate those economies. Find a way to do things. Have programs that can sustain. So if we have programs that do that, and they are at a layman's access, it goes a long way. Because you can't have sophisticated programs and want people to do. I always say to people, but farming is not a hobby. You have to do it while you're still working. So we need to start it early. Make it sustainable for everybody. Make it accessible for everybody. Not even just everything, certain parts of the sector. Make it accessible. We've got schools still to do the agriculture. But if it wasn't for farming, I would have learned agriculture just to pass, and then what? What was the purpose of teaching me agriculture?
True, because there are platforms thereafter.
Even in the market, we've got graduates from schools. And then what after that? What does the market say about them? Ngwana fetsa go study animal science and whatsoever. Where's the market? What are we doing now? Why is this course still there if it's not going to give results in the market?
True.
So these are some of the things that we really need to, look into. Yeah.
You've built a successful career, man. We can't argue that over more than a decade.
Yeah.
What has kept you motivated?
Yo. My mom. If there's somebody who believes in me, is that woman. God bless her wherever she is.
Oh, man.
Yo, 2011 when I got pregnant, people thought my life was over. They were like, when hey. When I below ho, ke wena, hello rono le keletsai. Gompieno ana o tsentse ditlhong mo go rona go ita gore ne re beile mo go wena what. And this is not my family saying this, by the way, it's people. But I sat my mom down and my mom said, Santla, ke phoso sa bobedi ke makgakga ngwanaka. Tsamo ipakanye, it's a stoko, o ikage, bona le ngwana. And whatever you do, mo gopole.
Oh, sebaga banna.
Ha o ntse tronke ga ke bona o ntse re a go bereka go Swaziland ana o itse go rona le ngwana mo Botswana. Ha o taboga gore today that girl she picks my wardrobe. Because I wanted to understand I can make a madi aba itse gore gone me mama ga ke ise ke mmatlele outfit. So my mom plays a pivotal role. Every gig I get, she's the only person who will know. The next people, well, obviously she will tell the husband, "Kidi show me." But everybody else will find out. Le commission ya terra. Mola se black text, mola ke commission. So it's them, my daughter. They give me pushing. They motivate me. Almost every gig before I get on stage, they call me. If my daughter's at school, she'll call me in the morning about my past 5. Yeah, go do this. Go make me proud. Tell them that wardrobe was mine. That kind of thing. So every time I do something, I think about them. Yeah. All the time. There's nothing I do without my mom.
In our industry, there's a lot of criticisms.
Oh.
How do you deal with criticisms?
I take criticism as a lesson. I actually have few people that at every event I say, how did I do? What do I need to improve?
Beautiful.
What errors? Sometimes it's even pronunciations. Did I pronounce this right? How do I fix this word? Blah, 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 blah. I do it well. But I have one problem with criticism that tarnishes my brand. That one, I don't take it easy. I don't deal with it. Take it easy. The boy in me comes out. And I don't want that on the papers.
Please take care of that boy. I don't want to see the boy here. That's why I can't take you already facing.
So I take every criticism, good or bad as it is, as try to avoid this next time. Try to avoid such comments, even on Facebook. Don't comment like this, because there's somebody out there who you can piss them off. True. They will tag you, they will drag you, screenshot you, post your comments.
Very social media.
And they'll be on you. So
you'll be dragged on,
that's how I deal with it.
How do you protect your mental well-being while working in the public eye?
Tabelo. If anything goes wrong, I just pray. I will just, the Lord's Prayer. That's the least I can do. I just pray, I just usa, I just do the little I can do. I've got a brother, Percy, firstborn Akwalape. Instead of calling my mom, now this time I don't call my mom. I call my brother. My brother will just tell me, hey, I go sit
yeah, man.
Right, where were we? There's that, I've got my manager, and this, I've got a good system. Even the man, was that supposed to help me? But then I realized, Skillo, you got this. So yeah.
What does actually leadership mean to you? Because you lead so many things. You are leader. I mean, MC, you leading the thing. You go to radio. You leading us on the mics. What does it mean to you?
Being a leader means being a good team player. If you want to know you're a good leader, is when you lead, people should follow you. Yes, ka re o leader, e be go nna le space in between you, go nna le resilience from your teammates, kana ba tswa mo go yana ba go sabotage. When you're a leader, you are not bigger than anybody else. You are just assigned to lead that project. But for that project to be successful, ona le batho. That's why go te moruta a ese ga o ele. Ona le batho. So show me. Go gore mo botshelong ga o ka kwa kgakala
ka nosi
so
so ipetse ka nosi tota
o tshela le batho. That's why le go godisiwa ke batho ba o tshelang le bone mo community go le botlhokwa. So anything you do it right by the people, with the people, for the people.
Fantastic.
Okay, kgagapella re tla go holosa stilo seo. Re tla go bontsha gore that's why ditlhopho di le botlhokwa mo botshelong.
We cholela. We tell far off.
So it's really one of those things, because I always give an example with some lady when I rata go diphitlhong tsa batho. Ha tswa go dintshong ka Setswana ke re go a jewa nna se ka ja. God forbid a ba tlhokagalwa ke mmagwe.
Oh Jesus.
A ba tlhaba dikgomo. Mmagwe ke motho wa batho. A tlhaba kgomo tse 4 go irwang. Batho re ba tswa go mabitleng be ba tsena mo dikoleng ba malapeng. Kgomo tse 4 ke a di molebile.
Oh Jesus.
So people are always watching you. Every move you make, people are watching you. Sorry.
And then, even doing this, how important is mentorship? How will you labor when from your side of an eye?
It's important because that's your silent voice. Ask yourself if your mentor could do this, what you want to do. Or the day you overtlang go tsena mo Facebook o lwantsha batho. Ask yourself, does my mentor do that? Would my mentor be proud of my actions?
Are you gonna mentor when?
I've got a few that I'm working with, but ke bana ba dikolo, because I believe confidence starts at school.
True.
Hey, go dingala go mentor motho ana le madi. A tla apere brand bo buturang jwa gago ka gore wena o simple Skillo hela. I don't know, but I like your job. Mara ha re le ba phone wa gago wena o tsamaya ka iPhone 17 wena o santse o le ko Android. Ele ya screen se se thubegileng. So I'm joking, but I love kids. I think my calling has always also been with kids. I do community outreach programs, so that's where my strength is. Where obviously I have chats with those that are still in the industry. Some would call me, Skillo, I got this gig. I've seen you do something like this. Any tips? Oh, for free, my girl. But most importantly, remain yourself.
True.
That's what I always say to them. Yeah.
I want to know more duting go gongwe mo nageng ya Botswana kgotsa ko South Africa o batlang go dira tiro e dirang o ka mo advise morare.
Start now. Whatever project it is, even if it's a church, start somewhere. Your confidence starts somewhere. And even if it means volunteering 2-3 gigs to build your profile. But there comes a point where you stop volunteering because now there's value. That platform, no, we're just giving you an opportunity to we build a brand. Because they've already found out about you from somewhere. But start somewhere. Never think your friends will support you. There's that stranger who will believe in your dream. By the time your friends come, charge your friend what you can charge a stranger. Because that same friend is a friend who Skillo, MC, and they will never recommend you. That's the painful thing. Do not rely your business on your friends or your family or your people. Let your business speak for itself. And take yourself as your brand seriously. Even if it means going to buy a t-shirt, brand it. Let your brand speak for you.
Yeah, kalemela motho ga buile nna. Yeah, bana motho khata ka motlhoko ba. Yeah, branding. Very important thing.
Let it speak for you and don't compromise on your branding. Your social media brand, you should communicate.
Jaga
it
ja
should
bere
be
branda
there.
motho yana. Ke ntse
Wa
ha ka
tlhaloganya.
yona
Wa bona gore o etse ra ba e
matlhabiso
manega.
matlhabiso di crew.
O na le madi tjho.
A tswang kae monna?
Wa reka
Why?
kgwele
No,
ke-
di seletse. A re tswelle pele. Let's come to my rapid fire questions.
Yeah.
What is one word that describes you?
Commitment. Committed.
Television or radio?
Television or radio? Radio.
Sports or agriculture?
Sports. Why won't you tell
Kana go ke famara. Yo, molemirui wa Ghana. Farming boots or high heels?
Farming boots. Ditlhako tse di a lapisa batho yo. Gape di go fa gore o tsamaye some type of way.
Hey.
A ka nyona le injury. Yo,
Coffee or tea?
none of the above.
Hey, how did that tell? What I got blown rain.
Inela metsi ya la. Next.
Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Morning person. I enjoy my home. I get chase ka 5:30 ke drop a mic.
Hey.
3 minutes later umphitlhala ile gore ke tswa ka building.
Nels, I get for sharing your story, your incredible story journey with us, for allowing us to come to your space and to suck it up. Bona ra go tsa di juice tsotlhe. Re di isa go re di isa go batho ba re sala morago. Make it from broadcasting to sports journalism, from commanding stages as a master of ceremonies to embracing agriculture. She's shown us that success has no limits when passion meets purpose. Your story reminds us that it's possible to wear many hats, break barriers, and still remain authentic. You don't need to be a fake on doing that. To everyone watching and listening, thank you for joining us for another inspiring episode of the Dust&Vision. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share this episode with someone who needs to hear this conversation. If you love episode 36 of the Dust&Vision, and I'm your host, Robustness. Until next time, from dust comes purpose. Through vision, legacies are built. Sharp, sharp.